In the very beginning, long before cities, kings, or technology, there was only God. And out of love, God created the heavens, the earth, the oceans, the stars, the animals, and finally, humanity. God formed the first man, Adam, from the dust of the earth and breathed life into him. And from Adam, God created the first woman, Eve. He placed them in a beautiful paradise called the Garden of Eden, a place overflowing with peace, joy, and everything they could ever need. There was no sickness, no fear, no death, no shame. Everything was perfect. Adam and Eve lived in harmony with God and with each other. They walked freely in the garden, explored creation, named the animals, and enjoyed a world without pain. Imagine a place where nothing is broken, nothing is missing, and every moment feels whole. That was Eden. And in this perfect world, God gave them just one instruction, one boundary. You may eat from every tree in the garden except one, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. If you eat from it, you will surely die. Wasn't a trap. It wasn't punishment. It was a simple, loving boundary, a reminder that God was their guide, the source of wisdom, and the one who knew what was best, But that's when the story takes a turn. In the garden lived a serpent, clever, cunning, and controlled by Satan, the enemy of God. His goal was simple, to twist God's words and break humanity's trust. One day, the serpent approached Eve near the forbidden tree. With a sly voice he asked, "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" Eve corrected him. "We can eat from all trees except this one. If we eat from it, we will die." But the serpent lied. "You will not die. In fact, if you eat it, your eyes will be opened. You'll become like God, knowing good and evil." The temptation wasn't just about fruit. It was about desire. The desire to be wise on her own. To choose her own path. To live without depending on God. Eve looked at the fruit. It was beautiful. It looked harmless. It looked meaningful. So she took it. And she ate. Then she gave some to Adam, who was standing with her. And he ate too. In that moment, everything changed. A sudden heaviness filled the air. Their innocence was gone. Their eyes were opened, but not in the way the serpent promised. For the first time ever, Adam and Eve felt shame. They realized they were naked, vulnerable, and exposed. They hid from each other. And worst of all, they hid from God. When God walked through the garden and called, "Where are you?" Adam answered, "I heard you, and I was afraid." Fear. Shame. Guilt. Confusion. Emotions they had never felt before now flooded their hearts. Sin had entered the world. God confronted them with love but also truth. He asked Adam, "Have you eaten from the tree I commanded you not to eat from?" Adam blamed Eve. Eve blamed the serpent. But each one had chosen disobedience. God explained the consequences. To the serpent, "You will crawl on your belly, and dust will be your food. And one day, a child born of a woman will crush your head." This was the first promise of a Savior. To Eve, childbearing would now come with pain. And her relationship with Adam would now face tension and struggle. To Adam, the ground would become hard. Work would be difficult. Survival would require sweat and labor. And to both of them, they would no longer live forever. They would one day return to dust. But even in judgment, God showed mercy. Adam and Eve had tried to cover their shame with leaves, but God made clothing of animal skin for them, showing that covering their sin required sacrifice. And though their hearts were breaking, God sent them out of the garden. Not out of anger, but out of protection, so they wouldn't eat from the tree of life and remain in their broken state forever. Eden's gates closed behind them. The world outside was harsher, colder, unfamiliar. But God's love followed them. The fall of man isn't just an ancient story, it's the story of humanity. It's the story of us. We've all felt the pull of temptation. We've all crossed lines we shouldn't have crossed. We've all tasted the consequences of wrong choices, pain, guilt, regret, distance, brokenness. But the story doesn't end in despair. Because hidden within the fall is a powerful promise. One day a Savior would come. A Redeemer who would crush the serpent's power and restore what was lost. And thousands of years later, that promise was fulfilled through Jesus Christ. The one who came to heal, forgive, and give us a path back to God. Adam and Eve lost paradise. But Jesus opened the door to a new one. So what does this mean for us? It means no matter how far you've fallen, there is hope. No matter what mistakes you've made, there is grace. And no matter how broken your world feels, God still reaches out, calling your name, inviting you back into relationship with Him. The fall shows us the problem. Jesus shows us the solution. And the good news is that restoration begins with one simple step. Turning back to the God who loves us more than we can imagine. If this story touched you, inspired you, or helped you understand God's love a little more, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so others can experience it too. Thank you for watching.